Uday is true, he would still be considered at least as brutal as his father, just more deviant.
It has really become a chamber of horrors.
Former U.S. diplomat Peter Galbraith says Uday is guilty of a long list of atrocities, from the Olympic team to the rapes and murders to his possible role, based on new information, in ordering the torture of American prisoners of war. So if the U.S. goes in looking for Saddam Hussein, they should also be looking for Uday Hussein.
Uday certainly will be one of the top targets for any international criminal investigation.
With his dictator father looking the other way, Uday has had free rein, amassing a fortune in a country of great poverty. He's seen here in a red Rolls-Royce Corniche, a $200,000 car, just one of some 1,200 luxury cars former aides say he has bought or simply taken because it suits his fancy.
Uday Hussein is a spoiled child, but one with lots of power.
Which may explain why on the streets of Baghdad, people we asked, with government guards watching, were quick to praise and defend Uday against his critics in the West.
They think that about them, but we are, no.
He's very kind. He loves people too much.
But we heard a much different story from Iraqis able to get out of Iraq, including numerous first-person accounts from former members of Iraq's Olympic team, who talked with 2020 and ESPN. Shirar Haidar was on the Olympic soccer team that lost to Jordan and was sent to prison by Uday as punishment for the defeat.
Well, they took me straight away to the prison, and every single day I've been beaten my feet, and 20 a day, and I'm not allowed to eat or drink, just a glass of water and a piece of bread.
Another defector, the flag bearer for the Iraqi team at the Atlanta Olympics. Weightlifter Rayed Ahmed, who has his own account of torture at Uday's direction.
They use special sticks, electric sticks, pipes filled with stones. You have no idea how brutal these guys are.
Uday's alleged torture of the athletes is now under investigation by the International Olympic Committee. It comes as no surprise to those who have followed him and his father.
He allows his eldest son to be a killer, to be a thief, to be a torturer, to be a rapist. This is not possible in any democratic country. It is not possible in most dictatorships.
But the real horror story about Uday is what happens at night in Baghdad. The bizarre sexual behavior and rapes for which he has become notorious.
Everybody in Iraq fear Uday.
Abbas al-Junabi was once one of Uday's closest aides, his press secretary, and, he says, a witness to repeated rapes and murders.
You know, because of his nature, he sometimes liked to rape.
Rape?
Yes, raping is one of his, let me say, hobbies.
One of his hobbies?
Yes.
Is raping?
Yes. And I am not exaggerating.
No one could say no, his former aide says, with victims ranging from girls as young as 12 to a visiting Russian ballerina who at first did try to say no.
So he sent people in order to film her making love with her trainer, and he showed her the film, and he raped her after that. And this is in 1994. Very few people know about this story.
Such stories from defectors are hard to confirm, but in Paris, a former French official told 2020 of an equally bizarre, more recent account involving Uday and a delegation of French college students.
A diplomatic cable came across my desk.
A cable about Uday, says Alexis Debat, a former desk officer at the French Ministry of Defense and now a consultant to ABC News. Debat says the cable detailed how two students from the group, a young man and woman, were invited to a Baghdad hotel by Uday for a party in their honor.
As soon as they stepped in the room where Uday was staying with his bodyguards, three men grabbed them and forced them at gunpoint to have sex with each other while being taped on video.
Debat says the French government concluded there was little they could do about it.
I mean, after all, it's Saddam Hussein's son.
Uday was the first child of Saddam and Sajida Hussein, who are cousins. His younger brother, Qusay, is less well known, but has emerged as a top military advisor to his father and Uday's rival for power and attention.
He's very angry that his younger brother got all this power.
Professor Amatzia Baram of the Brookings Institute and Haifa University says Uday's flash temper and lustful kinks are well known in the Arab world.
I think that he has certain mental problems.
Mental problems?
Certain mental problems, and he is a very dangerous man to know. And if you know him, you don't want to know him at all.
People have tried to kill Uday. He walks with a limp now after being wounded in an assassination attempt 8 years ago. And he has long had a body double trained to take a bullet for him.
Were you a good double?
I was good double for bad person.
Now in exile in London, Latif Yahia served for more than 5 years as Uday's double. As seen on this old videotape, Yahia was given the same French suits, aftershave, and even had plastic surgery on his chin to make him a convincing Uday. Yahia on the left, Uday on the right. They even had the same barber. And Yahia, too, says he saw the dark, brutal side of the man.
He picked one girl, she's pregnant. And he touched her. And this is Uday. Uday, he can't sleep with a woman if he don't hit her and see the blood coming out of her.
So that for him is the sexual excitement?
Yeah, the violence.
A violence that American forces may soon have to reckon with again. Our 2020 investigation uncovered evidence linking Uday with the torture and interrogation of some 20 American prisoners of war 12 years ago, including former Navy Commander Jeff Zahn, forced at gunpoint to appear on Iraqi television.
I think that this war is unjust. The guy brandished the pistol, and I thought, okay, these guys, he told me he was going to kill me, and I believed him.
In his first television interview, Zahn tells 2020 he and the other American POWs held by Iraq were severely beaten, threatened with execution, amputation, and castration.
I think it's just a custom with Saddam. I think it's a group of people who regularly torture people. I was put into the torture machine.
And behind it all was Uday, according to his former press secretary, who was with him at the time, and says Uday was directly involved with the American prisoners of war.
He was one of 5 people.
One of 5 people who deal with this matter. You know?
How to treat the prisoners.
How to get information out of them. If they don't cooperate, the instruction was very clear.
Which was?
Torture them, force them to talk. And force them to talk, in the language of interrogation means torture them.
American investigators also believe Uday is one of the few who can know about the whereabouts of American pilot Scott Spiker, who remains missing, presumed captured after his plane crashed in northern Iraq during the Gulf War.
If you say that this is a sadistic regime that enjoys inflicting pain on other people, particularly if they're seen as enemies, then it is possible to understand that Saddam and Uday might keep an American pilot alive simply for purposes of causing other people pain.
Starting last November, we tried again and again to get Uday to talk with 2020, without success.
Click the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell button. Thank you.